Alright, Ring of Honor and NJPW SmarkCast. This is my baby. This is the one I love. I like doing my WWE one, but this is my passion. Ring of Honor, NJPW is my passion because this is where real wrestling is. No pyro, no nothing, just simple. Just get in the ring and give us a good show wrestling. So, very excited. This episode we'll be discussing last Saturday's Ring of Honor TV episode and discuss some future events that are going to be pretty awesome. And then I will be covering NJPW G1 Climax 24 days 6 through 9 because I covered 1 through 5 in the last one. Very excited about that. And so let's go ahead and get this rolling. Ring of Honor TV, the newest episode, it was one match for the entire 60 minutes, which technically it's a gauntlet, so there's many matches rolled into it, but still, one match for the entire 60 minutes. Really cool thing they did. I loved it. We had the first, to start out, we had BJ Whitmer versus Coleman, which was an okay match. Wasn't the greatest match I've ever seen, but it was really cool to set up what it's about. It was one of the longest matches of the night, which was a little weird. BJ Whitmer won that one, and then he had to face Matt Taven, who is at Field of Honor going in a cage match against Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. He can put on a show. The BJ Whitmer Matt Taven match was a little bit better, more fast-paced, more adrenaline-fueled, really cool because that's how Matt Taven works. He got in there. Matt Taven won it, of course, because they're trying to push Matt Taven, which is awesome because Matt Taven is really good. Then we had Matt Taven versus Romantic Touch. This one, the big problem I had with it was there was a little too much comedy in it. I'm not a huge fan of having comedy with my matches. And this one kind of brought it down, and it kind of sucked. But then we got Matt Taven beat Romantic Touch, and then we got what I was really looking forward to was Jay Lethal versus Matt Taven, and it was a little too short, but these two have such good chemistry together. It didn't really show as well on Best in the World, but I'm sure it'll be killer at Field of Honor in that cage match. These two can put on a show together. Jay Lethal's awesome. I'm thinking that they're kind of pushing Jay Lethal to maybe go for a world title shot soon. They're really making him look strong and everything. And, of course, Jay Lethal beat Matt Taven, which makes me think that maybe Matt Taven's going to be taking that World TV title soon. Seriously doubt that, but, you know, it could happen because Taven hasn't been in long enough. And this is the next match is the reason why I think Jay Lethal's going to hold on to that TV title. Next one was Jay Lethal versus Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander is a guy who can really just go, and he's really good in there. They got a great chemistry together, him and Jay Lethal, and it was a great match. It was a fantastic match, which makes me think that we're going to see a Cedric Alexander Jay Lethal feud, and I think that Cedric Alexander may be the one to take the TV title for real. Cedric Alexander ended up winning. This was a Golden Gauntlet match, which means whoever wins gets a shot at the Ring of Honor World title. And so Cedric Alexander is going to get a shot. I think it's going to be on September 6th in Toronto at the All-Star Extravaganza. I'm pretty sure he's going to face Elgin for that. I don't know exactly when. They haven't really announced when it's going to be, but I figure that's when it's going to be because Field of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, both of those are already filled up with Elgin matches. But all in all, that's how you do a TV show. I know it's only an hour long and they have a slight advantage, but that's how you do a TV show. It's all wrestling, no promos whatsoever, just all wrestling. It was a good show. Some of the matches weren't that great, but all in all, if they continue to do stuff like that, it'll be great. And it was like a tournament format, and we've got Survival of the Fittest coming up in November, I think. Survival of the Fittest in November will be excellent. It's Ring of Honor's tournament, which is going to be great. The next event, though, is Field of Honor. There's been nothing added since the last SmarkCast. It's in 2 weeks. It's already got a stacked card. I mean, that the main event alone. You have Matt Taven and Jay Lethal in a cage match for the TV title, which is already blockbuster. Red Dragon's in there. You got the big the four corners match for the world title with Elgin, Adam Cole, Jay Briscoe, and AJ Styles. It's gonna be great. That's absolutely blockbuster. It's gonna be a fantastic main event. Very much looking forward to that. But since that, Death Before Dishonor 12 is a week after that. It's a weekend thing where they do one event on one day, one event on the next day. And the bad thing is, it doesn't say anywhere on the site that this is going to be added to video on demand, which really sucks because it's got some really good matches in it. They've announced that on the first night, I think Elgin is going to defend his title against Silas Young, which should be a pretty great match. But really, the big match on that one is AJ Styles versus Kyle O'Reilly, who is of Red Dragon. But those two, I can't even imagine what those two will do in a ring together. That's gonna be insane. And I really hope they put that on demand or something, or someone puts that on YouTube, because I really want to see that. And that's not even the best part. Elgin versus Ciampa is the match for the second night, but the main event is the Briscoes and Kazarian and Daniels versus Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. That's a killer 8-man tag match, and if that's not on demand, I'm gonna go insane, because I want to see that. That's gonna be blockbuster. And the main event of that one is AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander, which shows they're really pushing Cedric Alexander. They really want him to be something, because they're putting him in there with Elgin and AJ Styles and Jay Lethal. It's going to be good. Looking forward to that. That's 3 weeks from now. I really hope they put that on demand, or they show it in some capacity, because that would be awesome. The All-Star Extravaganza is September, and then Survival of the Fittest is in November. So Ring of Honor has some major events coming up, and I'm really looking forward to most of them, because they just put on a show, and it's mostly pure wrestling. They do have the only gripe I've ever had about Ring of Honor is I don't remember what it's their motto, and it's something like growing excellence or something like that. It's something weird, basically saying, yeah, this is where the future starts, and then they go off to another promotion to get famous. So I think they need to change that, so they can be more on their own. But Ring of Honor's got some good stuff lined up. The next SmarkCast will probably cover the final 3 days of NJPW and Ring of Honor TV, and then Survival of the Fittest will be, or not Survival of the Fittest, but Field of Honor. I'll probably give my predictions for Field of Honor at the next one. But until then, that's pretty much all Ring of Honor has going on right now. It's hard to do something really long for Ring of Honor when they only have an hour-long show. So that leads me to NJPW's G1 Climax 24. It's been going great. Fantastic matches in 1 through 5. I'll do the same thing that I did through 1 through 5, which was give what I thought were the best matches. I have to write them down, of course, which is starting with day 6, which was a crazy day. Not one of the best days, but still up there. The best matches you're looking for there are Tanahashi versus Ishii, Shibata versus Kojima, and Anderson versus Goto. Or, yeah, I guess that's how you say his name. Gochu. Shibata versus Kojima was the match of the night on that night. That was a good night, and we have day 7, which day 7 was epic. I mean, very, very epic. It was a very good set. The next one on that one you want Tenzan and Goto, Nakamura versus Ishii, and the match of the night, possibly match of the year, Suzuki versus AJ Styles. If you haven't seen that match, find it and watch it, because that is one of the best matches I've seen in my life. It was just beyond classic. I mean, the ending with the reversals, they were working on each other's limbs, they did some technical stuff, they brawled, they fought in the crowd, it went everywhere. It was a solid 20 minutes of just pure awesomeness. I was very, very, very impressed with that, and that's one of those things where you watch it and you say, this is why I love AJ Styles and NJPW. This is why, because they let these guys do what they want, and it's awesome. The next one we had was Day 8, which Day 8 was possibly the single greatest day in this tournament. This whole tournament has been fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is the single greatest event I have seen in wrestling history. Any WrestleMania, any SummerSlam, any Survivor Series, any Ring of Honor event, anything at all, this is the day. If there's one time that you watch an entire day, watch Day 8. If not, the 4 best matches to watch were Shelton Benjamin versus Nagata, Naito versus Goto, Archer versus Styles, which was cool because Archer doesn't always put on the best matches, but him and Styles went, and it was great because it was just Styles trying to take the giant monster down, and it was great. The match of the night, Tanahashi versus Nakamura, which was out of this world awesome. I don't think any of those matches matched up with Suzuki versus Styles, but it was still just a great day. I mean, to put it in perspective, I put these things, the famous Metzger star rating, which 5-star match, 4-star match, 3-star match, and only one match on Day 8 got less than 3 stars. There are 10 matches every day, and only one match got less than 3 stars. That tells you how good that day was. It was just an amazing day. Next we had Day 9, which was another great day. It just worked. I mean, this whole thing, this tournament is the best tournament in the history of wrestling. We had Nakamura versus Kojima, which was one of the best matches of the night. Styles versus Anderson was fantastic. I would say the first 5 minutes of the match was one of the greatest things I've ever seen, because Carl Anderson and AJ Styles are both in Bullet Club. Carl Anderson is the leader of Bullet Club, but AJ Styles is the champion of the company. So they get in there, they're doing their thing because they're on the team, they're shaking hands, they're showing respect, and then Anderson just lays down and said, you know what, you're the champ, you're going to beat me, and he just lays down. And AJ Styles goes to pin him, but Carl Anderson rolls him up. And it's stuff like that. They're showing respect, but they want to win. It's fantastic. And then the match picks up from there, and it's just so good. I was very, very happy with that match. I loved it. And then that wasn't even match of the night. And then match of the night was Okada versus Naito. That was easily match of the night with just some insane spots. Okada rarely puts on a bad match, so that kind of helps. Okada is one of the greatest NJPW wrestlers of all time. And then you have the standings for the actual tournament are heating up as well, because you have I think you have 2 blocks. In each block there are, whoever wins each block will face each other on Day 12. And the second place person on each block will face each other on Day 12. Right now, you have 2 leaders in each block. The leaders are Nakamura, AJ Styles, Okada, and Tanahashi. And out of those 4, I don't know who's going to win it. The thing is, an American hasn't won G1 in 25 years. The last American to win it was Vader. It was Big Van Vader. That tells you how long ago that was. And then before him, it was Hulk Hogan that won it, and then Andre the Giant before him. But Andre the Giant's not an American. Andre the Giant was Definitely not American. He was French, I think. But so I think the way they've been booking AJ Styles, it looks like AJ Styles may actually pull out the win. However, that would make a lot of people angry. Me, I want Tanahashi to win it because Tanahashi's my boy. And I wouldn't mind to see Nakamura and Okada win it because both of those guys are fantastic. So in the end, it's going to be a pretty amazing ending. No matter what, it's going to be a mixture of those 4 guys, and I'm okay with that. So it is looking great, or it looks like that's what's going to happen. There are some people who are still not that far behind, like Bad Luck Fell, but they wouldn't put him in the end. Bad Luck Fell is only winning because he's a monster. There's a couple of other guys that are up there, so that's looking great. And then also they will have on the 12th day, which is when they're having the finals, they're going to have a few Ring of Honor people come in and do some matches. It's going to be some tag matches. I think it's Adam Cole and Michael Bennett versus Jushin Thunder Liger and Tiger Mask, which that will be outright insane. And then Red Dragon versus Time Splitters, which we have seen a million times, but it's always great because the Time Splitters get in there and they're just great in the ring. And then Red Dragon, of course, is quite possibly the greatest tag team there is right now. I go back and forth. I love the Young Bucks and I love Red Dragon, and sometimes I'll say the Young Bucks are the greatest tag team. Sometimes I'll say Red Dragon is the greatest tag team. One of the two, with the Wolves really close to where they're at. So it's going to be pretty epic. That's it's just the whole NJPW scene right now is insane, and I think the next event is Domination, I think it's called, and they haven't announced any matches yet, but I'm hoping they really go all out on that one, because this is a lot like Hell in a Cell, where this is the pay-per-view that has to follow WrestleMania, so your expectations are pretty low. And they have a huge thing to follow, because this G1 Climax has been probably the greatest event in wrestling's history. And I fully mean that. I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan. I'm not just saying that because I want to blow smoke. This has genuinely been the greatest event in wrestling history, and there is an asterisk next to it because it is comprised of 12 days, but I would put day 8 against any WrestleMania in history. I would put day 8 against any event in history as the greatest event in wrestling history. It's just NJPW is pretty much, well, I mean, it already is the number 2 wrestling organization in the world. Just slightly behind WWE. But if NJPW was actually in America and they had American exposure, they had American commentators, stuff like that, if that were to happen, WWE would be in huge trouble, because NJPW rarely has pyro. They have pyro every now and then. They really have pageantry. They really have anything that's like, oh wow, that was cool, you know. We will do all our talking in the ring. And when they get in the ring, there is no one, not even Ring of Honor, there is no one that matches up to NJPW in-ring action. Not a single company out there does it. Ring of Honor is in second, but I mean, I love Ring of Honor. It's an American company, and as far as American companies go, that Ring of Honor is my favorite company. But if you're talking about pure wrestling, all wrestling, NJPW is it. That's none better. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this. I don't know who's going to win the tournament. I've never been good at predicting NJPW ever. That's why I don't do my predictions for them, is because they are just like, they always surprise me. I've been watching them for 6-7 years, and I mean, I can predict it every now and then. Like if Bad Luck Fell goes against somebody, yeah, Bad Luck Fell's going to win. because Bad Luck Fale always wins. He's the Intercontinental Champion right now. And I mean, the Bullet Club is pretty much a Japanese version of NWO with only one Japanese guy in it. It's just that those were the brash Americans that came in, and I would have never predicted that AJ Styles would beat Okada for the World Championship. I would have never predicted that. I would never predict that the Bullet Club would hold every single heavyweight title. I would never have predicted that. That may be just me. It may be that people understand NJPW better than I do, because I see people who can predict that stuff all the time with NJPW. I cannot. I can predict Ring of Honor, and I can definitely predict WWE. But NJPW, you know, I don't even for the most part, when it comes to NJPW, like some of these matches, such like Tanahashi versus Ishii, or Suzuki versus Styles, Nakamura versus Ishii, I genuinely don't care who wins. Genuinely. I mean, I want Tanahashi to win, but I don't care who wins, because it's just so fun to watch. And they know how to tell a story. It's just, I know I'm like a broken record now, but if you just have a little extra time, just watch NJPW. Watch it. I know the Japanese commentary will probably get on your nerves, but it's just so good. I love the Japanese commentary because those guys can make a suplex seem epic. Those guys make a simple clothesline seem epic. I mean, that's the finishing move of several of their people, and every time someone hits it, they just scream "Lariato!" and it's like so long, and it's basically like when someone scores a goal in soccer and they say "goal" for 45 minutes. It's like that, just "Lariato!" and it's so great. I'll be watching WWE right now, and someone will do a simple clothesline, and I'll scream it. I mean, I don't even care. It's great. I love it. Ring of Honor and NJPW. This is why I do this SmarkCast. This is why this is my baby. This is why this is the one I put so much time and effort into. This is the one that I'll shoot twice, because this is the one I care about. Ring of Honor and NJPW are just my thing now. I'll say it like I said on my last SmarkCast. If either of these things, Ring of Honor or NJPW, were to tomorrow announce that they have a show 8 o'clock on Monday nights now, I would quit watching WWE next Monday. I don't care that it's a go home Raw. I would quit watching, and I would watch NJPW and Ring of Honor, because these are the only companies that actually give a crap what the fan thinks. But either way, that's where I'm going to end it, because that was a really long rant on how awesome NJPW is. But it's worth it, because it's true. NJPW is awesome. So this one went a little longer than I wanted. I really only wanted about 15 minutes on it, but I had to go on that really long rant about NJPW. It's mainly because there isn't really much to discuss on that. It's just like, watch these matches, and there you go. And Ring of Honor has an hour-long show and makes some announcements. So not much to discuss. That my WWE SmarkCast is only longer because I have more to rant about. I have more to talk about. And for the most part, if you don't ever watch my WWE SmarkCast, watch this one, the one I released this week, because that right there shows why it's so long. Because they do so many things to anger me, and I just rant on them. But either way, thank you for watching this SmarkCast Ring of Honor NJPW edition. I am Darren. I will put my email address and my Twitter handle in the description, but just in case, my email address is smarkcast@gmail.com, and my Twitter handle is @-Darren. Once again, thank you for watching the SmarkCast. I'm Darren.